Illinois' Performance Accountability and Transparency System, IPATS, using the performance tools. The performance tool syncs with Illinois Workforce Development System, IWDS, to pull in data on key WIOA performance measures. The performance tool helps ensure data validation across WIOA programs by bringing transparency to the data that is reported to DOL each year. The performance tool is set up to provide an overview of where we're at by statewide and each individual LWIA depending on access level. The performance tool starts at a statewide level, showing where we're at for adult, dislocated worker, and youth programs for various performance indicators. For example, this performance indicator is looking at employment rate second quarter for PY 2020 year to date. We can see where each program is at by looking at the graph and the information that shows at the end of the graph, showing us our goal, our threshold, where we're currently at, and the status. We can update the performance measure we're looking at by selecting the performance indicator filter and choosing a different measure. When a different measure is selected, the graphs will update to show where that performance measure is for the statewide numbers. You can additionally filter on program year and quarter. We also have a title filter. Right now, we're only pulling in Title I data, but the system has been set up to pull in additional title data as needed for future development. You can also filter by workforce program. If you select a different program, the graphs will update to show the data specific to that program. So for this graph, we're looking at adult performance measure outcomes for PY 2020 year to date. We have a graph for each of the performance measures. If we hover over those graphs, we get additional information on that performance measure. These graphs will update their color coding to match the data that's pulled in. Performance measures that have a status of fail will be red. Performance measures that have a status of meet will be yellow, and performance measures that have a status of exceed will be green. Once we filter down to a program level, we get some additional program data. We can see some customer engagement counts. So we can see the number of registrants, the number of new registrants, the number of those exited, and the number of those employed at exit for the current program year and quarter we're filtered to. We're still currently looking at statewide numbers for the adult program, but we can filter down even further to see a specific LWIA's data. LWIA administrators will only have access to the LWIAs that they are associated with. Career planners will only have access to the LWIAs that they are associated with, and statewide users will have access to all LWIA and statewide data. Once you filter down to an LWIA, you have the ability to filter down even further by LWIA office, by WIOA training provider, or by career planner. Each of these filters will allow you to select from a drop-down list, and as you start typing items in, you can also auto-filter, kind of narrow your down list based on what you type in. We're going to jump back up to a statewide view. When you're looking at this data, these graphs can be exported by clicking the hamburger icon and then selecting the format in which you would like to download the graph in. You can also export the data. You can export the page data, meaning it's going to export based on the filter parameters you have set, or you can export all data, meaning it's going to export all the performance data that you have access to into an Excel sheet. You can also view a table view of this data by clicking the Table View tab. Once you click a table view, you'll be able to see all the data broken down into a table, so you can see your performance measures, your goal, your status, your current total, your threshold, your numerator, and your denominator. If you select a customer list, you have the ability to see a list of customers associated to this specific row. You can use the icon to the left of the customer list to be able to add additional customer information to show. We're not showing the customer list as this is going to show real customers' information and we don't want that to be available to the public. But if you have any questions about the customer list or would like a demo specifically of that, you can always reach out to us at info@illinoisworknet.com. You have now successfully learned how to navigate the performance tools within IPATS.